This is where Chris's visit to Robert Fulton Elementary takes a very chilling turn.
Yeah, there's niggas in that bitch smoking black
Bro,
man.
the curtain, bro. When you see curtain, bro. Bro, don't go, bro.
Is that a
There's
nigga
somebody
sleeping?
in there, bro.
What the fuck was that?
It's the dark skin side is my
Over again, don't make me waste my mind.
Hey, man. Shut the fuck up. Hey, man, today's video, we got 6 most disturbing abandoned building encounters caught on the camera.
The camera.
The camera. You said can encounter? What is it? It's an abandoned building encounters.
What?
Okay. Caught on the camera. The video recorder. But anyway, we ain't gonna waste no time, man. Let's get into it.
You have to get to the core, nigga.
But abandoning shit, bro, that shit
I feel like
is
we've
no
seen
joke,
a lot
bro.
of these already.
Christopher Brian Hill is an urban explorer with a YouTube channel called Urbex Hill.
Are we not gonna turn the light
On?
off?
Years, he's been uploading raw footage of his
Yo, I want to turn the light off.
called Urbex Hill. Over the past 10 years, he's been uploading raw footage of his
Hey, Jesu! Hey, you play too much.
You play
too much,
bro.
Life-threatening
You
situations.
screaming in my ear, motherfucker.
Urban explorers like Chris face many dangers. From aggressive stray dogs to hostile squatters to respiratory risks and unsound structures, venturing into an unfamiliar abandoned building is much more risky than it might sound. It's obviously much safer to explore abandoned buildings in the light of day and with a group of friends.
Oh,
but
shut
in
up,
most
that
of his
nigga was
videos,
somebody.
Chris explores at night and always alone. In June 2022, he visited the abandoned Westinghouse Electric Factory located in Cleveland, Ohio. Built more than a century ago, the factory originally consisted of 7 different buildings, but most of them have been demolished by now. Even though the Westinghouse Company was established in 1886, it didn't reach Cleveland until 1894. Founded by Thomas Edison, Westinghouse is best known for the notable
Nikola
engineers
Tesla.
who worked for the company, including Nikola Tesla and William Stanley. For several decades, the Westinghouse Company rivaled General Electric, and it was last used as a lighting equipment production plant before its abandonment in 1979.
Interesting.
For the past 4.5 decades, the abandoned factory has been one of the hottest urban exploration locations for curious explorers and
don't look hot.
YouTubers. In 2012, the factory started receiving even more attention after the Black Widow interrogation scene from the first movie of the Avengers was shot there. 10 years later, Chris made the trip to the abandoned factory and recorded everything he saw. As Chris begins exploring, there doesn't seem to be anyone around, and only the sound of crickets can be heard in the darkness as he walks around the outside of the building. Disturbingly, the sound of gunshots can be heard in the distance less than 5 minutes into the recording. It's worth mentioning that for the past few years, Cleveland has been ranked as one of the top 10 most dangerous cities in the US, making this visit to the abandoned factory even more risky.
That's a scary thing to know.
That nigga did that shit by himself. Somebody
That's
shoot.
shooting going on.
Probably target practicing, bro.
Yeah, in the woods?
Yeah, like in that area, because it's abandoned.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Could be a gun range too, though.
Damn.
Oh, they shooting that bitch in the air. Were they shooting that bitch in the air?
Nah, bro.
Are you sure? I saw something going. Oh no, it's the
Not
glare.
that far away from me.
But I'll be scared, nigga.
No, it's probably a gun range, bro.
Shit,
Chris
fuck
has
all
experience
that.
exploring everything from abandoned mental hospitals and sanatoriums to vacant occult temples, and he shrugs off the fear as he enters the creepy building. Just like in many abandoned buildings, Chris finds a mattress on the floor, meaning at least one person has been sleeping there recently.
It's a homeless dude.
As he captures footage of the first floor and walks up the stairs to the second floor, all that can be heard in the eerie darkness is the sound of his footsteps. A few minutes later, Chris goes down to the basement, and the footage becomes increasingly creepier as Chris runs into a series of dead ends under the leaky, moldy ceiling.
Hill. I should say hill. H-I-L-L.
Is it an animal?
There's animals down here.
Shit, be careful before a fucking wolf pull up on you.
At several points during his exploration of the basement, he can be heard making comments about a strange noise coming from somewhere on that floor, and at first he seems to think it's an animal. Alarmingly, he finds a few shell casings on the ground from what was probably a 9mm handgun.
Bro,
Although it would
yeah.
be pretty unsettling
That's
to find
crazy.
something like this lying on the ground.
Yeah,
in
they
an
definitely use that
factory
place for target
basement,
practice.
It's worth mentioning that police departments often use abandoned buildings and complexes for training exercises. However, in this case, it's impossible to know if that's really what happened. Shortly after, he comes across a series of disturbing
Tried my
messages on the
best.
walls. He continues recording as he walks
in
down
his
narrow
home?
corridors.
It's too late.
And this is where things get a lot more disturbing.
To apologize. Fuck.
It's too late to apologize. What? Is that a person?
Nigga, that's a person.
Is that a
It's a
person?
fucking person.
Yo,
Oh shit, that's a nigga.
you need some help, bro?
That's a crackhead. It's a crackhead.
Yo,
Hey, yo.
Nigga, it's a crackhead. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. Crackhead Chronicles, nigga.
Nigga, I'm looking
Fuck outta
back
here.
till I
Nigga,
walk.
why the fuck would you take your eyes off him?
Bro, I'm looking back till I walk out of there, bro.
that's crazy.
I don't trust
If that
nobody.
nigga starts
This nigga is
About
ballsy
20
as shit. He not even checking his
The visit
back.
takes a very dark turn as Chris runs into a hunched-over man without a light at the far end of the room. He calls out to him and asks if he needs any help, but the man doesn't move or respond, and Chris decides to leave him alone. Understandably, Chris's breathing can be heard getting louder and heavier after the extremely unsettling encounter, but things were only about to get more disturbing for him.
I'm gonna help that dude out.
bro,
What the fuck you?
This dude with a $20 bill.
bro. He gone.
Yo,
Bro, you're fucking weird.
It's
Why
gone.
would you even...
He's gone.
hey, I got some money for you.
Wait, what?
Where? He not there no more.
I think he's still there.
I think he's in that corner.
He's not there, bro.
That nigga said, money?
What
That nigga popped out.
To go back to
Money?
help the man out by giving him a $20 bill. But alarmingly, when he goes back to the room, the man is no longer there.
Like, why would you
This
even
could
leave
be
it in the first
incredibly
place?
dangerous, as squatters are known to behave aggressively toward unwanted visitors.
Uh-oh.
And because they know the place better than anyone else, they can easily hide in the shadows and attack or scare visitors when they least expect it. One theory that
They call
many
them
viewers
squatters?
seem to favor was that maybe the man was not a homeless person at all, but a gang member who was hiding from the shootout that could be heard at the beginning of the video.
Probably.
However, it's impossible to confirm if this was actually the case, and it
That's
seems pretty
crazy.
unlikely given his strange behavior. As he continues searching for the man, Chris notices bats flying around the basement, and things get even more eerie at this point.
Bro,
Bats? Oh.
bro. I mean, bats stay. They stay in the dark.
Yo, these niggas is brave.
Bro, this nigga got big balls.
Nigga, if I
Right when he
seen a
walks
nigga,
into
I'm
one of the
out of there,
rooms,
bro.
If you look closely at the far left of the screen,
So you're telling me this nigga saw bullet shell cases in a dude and didn't even think about leaving?
Yo,
Like,
I'm out.
bro, if you see shells on the floor and then there's a nigga, you already heard gunshots coming into the place, bro. Why is that not enough for you to leave? I'm starting to think that this shit is fake.
Nah, bro.
And then on top of that, you turn around and leave him alone as if it's like, and then he keeps walking forward, not even looking behind this.
bro.
Like he's just like,
He just a different breed.
I don't know.
That's what I see.
I
bro.
think you Cleveland
He
niggas
just
is
different,
different,
bro.
bro.
he probably was turning around. He just didn't turn the camera with him.
can't
But
be
it's
me.
like,
Cause my black ass
Why?
fuck, I look like giving a nigga $20. Man, I'm not going close to that nigga. That
this
nigga,
nigga,
turn around.
bro, you came around the corner and you saw this nigga squatting down. You talked to him, he didn't even respond. Now you want to get a nigga $20. Nigga, what?
The fact that you even talk to him is crazy, nigga. The moment I see that, nigga, I'm out, nigga.
You want $20? You want $20? I got $20 for you. Nah, I want to see if he's going. I want to check and see if he's dead, bro. Nigga, if he,
I'ma smack that
I'm gonna
nigga.
throw a rock at that nigga back, and if he don't react, nigga, I'm out of there. Nigga.
I think that nigga got a gun himself too, bro.
That's what I'm
the only
saying.
way is comfortable like that, nigga.
And them shells look mighty fresh. Like them shits look dumb fresh. Like them joints look hot and ready.
You don't look right.
you can actually see the man from earlier standing in what you, if you
Wait,
look
what?
closely at the far left of the screen, you can actually see the man from earlier standing in what used to be a door frame, staring at Chris in the
Oh,
darkness.
is that him right there?
I know I
It is
saw
him.
something.
Doesn't
I
notice
saw
and
him.
continues walking.
Why is he
It's
standing
impossible
like
to know
that?
how long the man had been following him, and in these kind of situations, it can be hard to gauge the squatter's intentions. A few minutes later, the squatter can be seen walking outside as cars pass by the side of the building. At one point, Chris mentions he thinks the guy said hello, but it can't be heard clearly through the camera audio.
That nigga even look like he got a gun too.
Out, he hears a cell phone vibrate,
He might be a hood
indicating that
nigga,
there are
huh?
more people down there with him, hiding in the darkness.
Oh, hell.
Having had enough disturbing encounters for the night, he decides to play it safe, and fortunately, he was able to leave the building unharmed.
He was?
He never found out who that man was, and since then, he hasn't uploaded another video of the Westinghouse factory.
Shit.
Yeah, there's mad niggas
want
chilling
either.
up in that
This video
bitch.
was recorded in Tartu,
Mad
Estonia, and
niggas.
uploaded to
Surprised he was
YouTube
able
in
to get
August of
out.
2016.
Estonia?
Hold on, that
What the fuck?
motherfucker had a phone?
4 teenagers visit an abandoned sauna that was built more than a century ago in 1915, back when Estonia was still part of the Russian Empire. After fulfilling its purpose for 80 years, the sauna was decommissioned in 1995. The building remained abandoned for 23 years until in 2018 it was fully renovated and turned into a beauty salon, which is still operating as of this video's upload in 2023. In August of 2016, the uploader visited the abandoned location with 3 friends. Upon entering the building,
Hey,
you
boss.
can see that it looks exactly what you would expect a building that's been abandoned for 21 years to look like. There's an insane amount of mold growing freely on the walls, the heaters are covered in a thick layer of rust, the floor is full of holes, and the entire structure looks like it could collapse at any second. Throughout the video, the teenage explorers also run into some disturbing messages on the walls. An especially eerie one reads, "You can't hide," and there are also several creepy drawings of stick figures graffitied on the walls in some of the other rooms. For the first few minutes of the visit, other than the disturbing messages and some loose shoes and other personal belongings, there doesn't seem to be any indication that somebody could be living there or had even visited the location recently. However, about 20 minutes into the visit, one of the teenagers finds a door frame covered by a curtain, and they decide to explore the room.
And that's where they fucked up.
When you see a curtain like that, bro, somebody living there.
Is that nigga growling at them?
As one of the explorers shines a
What was
flashlight
that?
into the room, a gut-wrenching scream can be heard coming from the shadows. Immediately, the 4 teenagers run out of the building in a panic. When they finally step outside, the sun is already set, and the boys get into the car to flee from the location.
Yeah, that's a real
was
nigga
too
right
busy
there.
running to show footage of the screaming man. It's more than likely that it was a homeless resident of the abandoned building who wasn't expecting visitors. Still, it must have been
Cameraman
extremely
said, "Fuck
disturbing to
that."
experience something like that, even if they went together as a group. After that day in 2016, the boys never went back to the abandoned sauna.
And the
See,
man
now
said,
that-
"Fuck that bitch."
That's a real encounter right there, nigga. Fuck the camera. That nigga.
2022, YouTubers
That
have
nigga said,
released a new video to their channel Back in Time
What the?
NC, in which they showed footage of their visit to a rundown old farmhouse somewhere in the UK. In the caption, they mentioned that they found an entry point through an open window around the side of the house. Based on the state of disarray the farmhouse is in, it's clear that nobody has been maintaining it for quite some time. The floor is covered in leaves and cobwebs, the shoes look dusty and unused, and there are even a couple of dead animals lying on the floor, along with
The
some
fuck is
shotguns
that?
That's almost like a
on top
human.
of a
Is
bedside
that a
table.
bird?
The only
Oh.
clues that indicate somebody could have been at the location
Chills.
relatively recently are that one of the light bulbs in one of the bedrooms looks relatively new, and some of the clothes in the closet look only gently used.
Yeah.
Based on the pictures that Chris finds on different shelves and hung up on the walls, it appears as if a family of at least 4 children used to live in the farmhouse. As the couple continues with the exploration, they walk into one of the upstairs bedrooms, where they find something very unexpected.
Thin, narrow piece of carpet that comes all the way across. Absolutely nuts. Maybe we'll come into this bedroom here.
That closet look mighty new, but
Oh, wow.
Nigga, that walker look untouched.
never mind.
Oh
What the?
my god! You're alive!
Wait,
No,
what?
mummy.
You can't live in here. Yeah?
No!
What do you mean you can't?
We thought it was abandoned. We thought it was abandoned.
You can't live in here.
When he first walked into the room, Chris
Oh,
didn't notice that
shit.
there was someone asleep in the bed. It wasn't until Meg walked in and made a noise that the woman sleeping in the bed woke up and gave them the scare of their life.
Well, I thought that girl next to him scared the shit
I
out of
was
me.
like, bro, that walker looked too fucking new.
Yeah.
During the conversation, she tells the couple that she doesn't have any family that could take her to live somewhere else less depressing. Out of sheer kindness, Chris and Meg keep the lady company and try their best to understand her situation. She introduces herself as Jane, and over the next 10 minutes they ask her questions about how she ended up living all alone in an abandoned farmhouse. Thanks to the couple's empathy, the initial shock of being startled by the sleeping old lady and seeing her living in such terrible conditions quickly turns into a heartwarming moment in which the three of them talk about each other's lives.
What happened was I came there to help somebody.
Okay.
And this is only for a week I'm coming.
Yeah.
And that was 1993.
Damn.
Wow, so you've been here nearly 30 years.
God damn.
Disturbingly, Jane mentioned she's been living in the abandoned farmhouse for 30 years. And even though Chris and Meg offer to help her, bring her food, and buy her clean clothes and sheets, she seems hesitant to accept anything from them, claiming that she's fine living the way she does.
Oh.
She mentions that even though it's not her house, the men who work at the farmhouse know she's there and they bring her food and water every day.
Oh, shit.
In a touching moment at the end, the couple agrees with Jane to visit her again soon. This would have been a happy ending to the story, but Chris and Meg included a caption at the end of the video that casts the situation in a more disturbing light. The caption reads, "I did a lot of research to try and find the name of the farm and whom it was owned by. Luckily, I got the information needed, and I even got a message from someone who knew the farmer who farms there." Chris goes on to explain that the man who reached out to him also knew that Jane was living there, and that the farmer also lives in the farmhouse with her. According to the man, Jane is very well cared for, but she chooses to live in those terrible conditions anyway. The man also mentioned that Jane's husband is up there constantly to make sure she's okay, but she doesn't accept his help very easily, or anyone's help for that matter. It's worth mentioning that Jane might not have been completely truthful about her situation to Chris and Meg. During their conversation, she mentioned that she didn't have anyone to care for her except for the farmer, but the man who knew the farmer told Chris that she also has a brother who tries to take care of her. Not entirely convinced by what the man told him, Chris continued digging for information and found that the farm was not on any land registry records, but there was another property to Jane's name that she owned between 1986 and 2015. After visiting the other property, Chris mentioned that it was as unkempt and beat up as the farmhouse itself. Having heard two different versions of the story from the man who contacted him and from Jane herself, he decided to contact Adult Social Services. This is the email he received from them. "Good morning, thank you for your email. I can confirm that Adult Social Care are aware of this lady, however, I'm not able to provide you with any further details. We appreciate your input and the information you have provided, and thank you for raising your concerns with us." Chris then told the man who contacted him to tell Jane that he and Meg would be happy to go back and visit her if she wanted them to. After this, there were no further updates on the old woman, and we'll likely never know what became of her. The only thing we know for sure is that if someone else decides to explore the abandoned farmhouse in the future, they'll likely run into the same situation as Chris and Meg.
Yeah.
Sadly, this type of situation is much more common than many people realize. With rising prices and the overall state of the global economy, a large part of the elderly population is being forgotten. Hopefully, Jane can accept some help from her family members and live out the rest of her days in much better and healthier conditions than the one she was in when the video was uploaded.
That's the thing, bro. They don't care, bro. They is fine.
Robert Fulton Elementary is an abandoned school in a pretty rough
1993,
neighborhood of Cleveland,
nigga.
Ohio. The building is 92 years old.
What's up with Cleveland, bro?
13 years.
Hey, I'm saying, bro.
After several complaints from nearby residents who mentioned that the abandoned building was an eyesore, a potential crime hotspot, and that it was lowering the value of their properties, the mayor of Cleveland announced plans to turn the rundown old building into a high-quality, mixed-income housing unit for the community. Although the idea is still in the planning stages and the city needs more funding to complete the project, the plan is for the renovations to begin by the end of 2024. For now, Robert Fulton Elementary remains one of the creepiest abandoned schools in the country.
Damn.
In May of 2023, Chris Hill, again from the YouTube channel Urbex Hill,
it's the same
uploaded
guy.
a video in which he made a second visit to the boarded-up, abandoned elementary school. The first video he made of the school was back in 2022. During his first visit, he heard strange humming, chanting, creaking, and banging noises coming from different rooms. This was part of the description in the first video. Most sections of the building are falling apart, and the water and elements have done irreversible damage to the structure. I would not recommend anyone explore this school. You risk getting robbed or worse. With that being said, I heard weird noises and other various things during my exploration. After these incidents, the vast majority of people would have been too terrified to even think of going back. But 2 years later, Chris decided to make a second visit to the school alone at 1 a.m.
This nigga's on drugs.
1 a.m.
It makes sense why it's Cleveland. Because I think that's still that nigga lives.
It's crazy in here.
Yeah, the decay is crazy. That
Yeah,
building
that chair gave up.
From the very beginning of the footage, it's clear that Robert Fulton Elementary belongs in a different category of abandoned buildings
Is that
than
the
most
Walmart
others.
chair?
What stands out the most about the building is the fact that just over a decade ago, children were learning in those classrooms, running and playing in the halls, and now it looks more like something out of a horror movie than a school.
Damn.
The eeriness of the location, the pitch darkness, and the extreme state of decay of the building all contribute to the school's incredibly creepy atmosphere, and not a lot of people would dare go in there at night, much less alone. For a building that has only been abandoned for 13 years, Robert Fulton Elementary is in a much worse state than other buildings that have been vacant for much longer.
13
But Chris doesn't
years,
see the
bro?
mind as he captures footage of the dark corridors with peeling walls and random debris lying all over the floor. As he ventures deeper into the school, Chris starts hearing strange noises, but nobody seems to be around, and he continues his exploration in the chilling silence. The underlying structure in some of the rooms on the upper floors seems extremely unstable, but Chris shows his expertise in urban exploration by avoiding the surfaces that crack under his feet. After about 15 minutes of exploring the top floors, Chris goes down into the basement, which is arguably the most deteriorated part of the school. As he explores the dark rooms, he finds some indications that other people could be living there. Interestingly, he also finds what appears to be a boiler room that's been flooded with water.
Angel,
That look fresh.
you heard that?
Yeah. He said there's probably people living.
At around the 30-minute mark, a loud banging noise can be heard coming from one of the rooms, and it becomes very clear that Chris is not alone. As he steps into one of the classrooms, he finds a very eerie message written on the chalkboard, which reads, "Don't explore alone," as well as a paper sign on the door that reads, "Keep out." Despite the clear warnings, he goes inside, only to find more signs that somebody's living there. This is where Chris's visit to Robert Fulton Elementary takes a very chilling turn.
Yeah, there's niggas in that bitch smoking black
Bro,
man.
the curtain, bro. When you see curtain, bro. Bro, don't go, bro.
Is that a
There's
nigga
somebody
sleeping?
in there, bro.
What the fuck was that? Yo, why that nigga scream like that?
That was a white nigga. That was a white boy. Nigga said, ah!
What did he see?
Fearing for his life after hearing the blood-curdling scream, he sprints out of the building to safety, hoping that the man wasn't following him. If you look closely at the footage, you can see the outline of the screaming man when Chris peels back the curtain to his room.
Weird.
Upon reviewing the footage later that night, he found something else even more unsettling.
Did y'all
When he
see it,
first
man?
walked into the
I didn't
building,
see him.
his camera caught something that he didn't notice at the time. In the distance, a man's shadow can be seen walking into one of the rooms. It's not clear where the man went after that, but based on the strange noises Chris heard throughout his visit, it's very likely that the man was watching him all along. Although the scream was terrifying to hear, and we can only imagine what Chris was
That nigga there.
it's worth mentioning that the room he entered was probably the man's home, and from the squatter's perspective, it was probably just as terrifying to see a random man pull back the curtain to his room.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Pull
These
back the
kinds of
curtain.
encounters
pulled it
often
back?
get violent
Yeah.
and pull back the curtain. And from the squatter's perspective, it was probably just as terrifying to see a random
You saw
man
it?
pull back the curtain to his room.
You don't see the man, you just see the
These kinds
curtain
of
just
encounters can
forcefully
get
goes
violent
back.
very quickly. But thankfully, Chris once again made it out safely.
Nigga, that
He
scream
hasn't
scared the
uploaded
shit
new
out of
footage
me.
location since then.
Shit, nigga traumatized.
I ain't gonna lie, for 13
This
years,
footage was
that building
uploaded
got
October
fucked.
2019 by
I
YouTuber
feel like
Baker
13
X
years is not even that
a tour guide
long.
from San Bernardino, California. One day, as he was riding his motorcycle on the highway in California, he noticed an abandoned
nigga got
house
an
sitting
aerial
on
on.
top of a hill and decided to take a look inside. From the very beginning of the footage, it becomes clear that somebody has already been there, and that it probably wasn't the original owners of the house. Unlike many abandoned buildings, you can tell this house used to be beautiful before it was vacated, but that doesn't make it any less creepy to visit, even in the middle of the day.
Nah, they can renovate the fuck out there.
heebie-jeebies, dude. Dude, that dark room. I can feel like something's
Like, you definitely be more scared in this type of houses.
Anything that's confined spaces, like
Yeah,
small
because it's
shit.
like, it looks so new, but it's like, why is it abandoned?
Bitch.
Nigga said,
Take a whole ass.
Derek goes down to explore one of the rooms on the bottom floor, and this is where he hears a disturbing thud. Terrified, he makes a run for it and even trips and falls on his way out.
Probably an animal,
Eventually,
bro.
he gets back on his motorcycle and flees the location. As per one of the most popular theories proposed by viewers, the noise was probably made by a homeless person who was trying to warn Derek to get out of his home. Although squatters don't spend all their time lurking in the shadows, it's common for them to use the darkness as a tool when someone comes into the building unannounced. It's a basic rule of urban exploration that if you hear loud noise upon entering a room, you should probably leave.
yeah.
Sometimes squatters make a noise as a first and final warning to drive visitors away respectfully. If Derek had pushed forward, he may have been attacked by whoever was hiding in the darkness. It's a natural impulse to call out and announce your presence in these kinds of situations, but squatters will very rarely answer these calls in a normal way. Nobody likes to be seen living in those conditions, and more often than not, the response will be rather aggressive and sometimes even violent. Fortunately, in this case, Derek was able to get away from the potentially dangerous situation just in time.
Yeah, when them niggas hung shit,
In
it's
central
tricky.
Ontario, Canada, there's a small community south of Port Elgin
Canada.
known as North Bruce. To the locals, however, it's known as the Devil's Elbow.
Oh, Lord.
According to John, the urban explorer who uploaded this video, the reason for the name was that there was once an occult high priest who lived in the mansion at a cul-de-sac, in which the townspeople used to think there was paranormal activity due to the occult rituals the priest used to perform in his home. The mansion has since been abandoned, and as of today, nobody wants to buy it or live in it due to its chilling atmosphere and sketchy past. According to John, some renovations have been made sporadically since the house was vacated, but as of the video's upload, the house was still abandoned. In 2019, John set out to explore the occult mansion alone at night,
Yeah, that's a
but
free
things didn't go
TV.
exactly as he planned. In comparison to other abandoned buildings, the mansion seems to be in relatively good shape, except for the garage, which has clearly seen better days. About 5 minutes into the exploration, John starts to hear strange noises upstairs, but they seem to quiet down as soon as he climbs the set of stairs.
Somebody's sleeping up there.
I think I've been hearing stuff upstairs, but I'm hoping, and I mean this, I really hope that it's paranormal.
Those are fresh finger.
Someone's freaking in here.
Those are finger. Why is he going in there if there's finger like lining along the rails?
That nigga said, I'm hoping it's paranormal.
He's making noises.
That nigga likes this
Nigga, I
shit.
doubt that's
Freaking swing
paranormal.
in there, dude. Come on, quit messing with me. I'm just trying to freaking. I'll leave. There's some ass in here. Guys, I've got myself in a bad situation. Oh, jeez.
Oh, you behind the door.
Disturbingly, as he walks around upstairs, the noises can be heard again, even louder this time, leading John to think that perhaps someone else is in there messing with him. Although he mentions loudly to whoever is in there with him that his only intention is to explore and that he doesn't want to bother anyone, whoever was making the noise doesn't respond and continues hiding. The noises stop for a couple minutes, but then something terrifying happens.
Hello?
What
Somebody
up?
here?
What's up, nigga?
I'm not here to bother or rob anything. I was just here exploring. I thought it was a bit.
Disturbingly, a man's voice can be heard
Nah, that
screaming,
nigga
"I'm
would
gonna
try to
kill
scare
you."
that
And
nigga.
before catching a glimpse of who it is, John runs out of the mansion immediately and doesn't look back until he's a safe distance away from the
I'm
building.
gonna kill you.
It's unknown who was in the house or how long they had been watching him, or even if they had bad intentions or were just messing with him. According to several viewers, it's very unlikely that the other person in the house was another explorer. In the urban exploration community, people usually help each other out, and there's a sort of code that every explorer sticks to in order to help keep creepy locations as safe to visit as possible. If the other person in the house was another explorer, making noises in an abandoned house and screaming, "I'm going to kill you," would obviously be very out of the ordinary. That leaves the question of who could have screamed at John. It's more than likely that it was just a homeless person who didn't want any visitors. But because John ran out before he could see anyone, this much will probably remain unknown forever.
Why he locked himself in?
That's crazy.
How I'm gonna kill you?
How I'm gonna kill you? Nigga,
I feel like that
got it,
nigga is trying to scare him or something. He probably just want him to run away.
I don't want to take that chance, nigga.
Nigga say he probably will kill your ass.
Nigga say, you ain't gonna tell me twice, nigga. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
That's crazy.
I don't know why all these explorers don't got no gun. I'm gonna kill you. Ah, try it, nigga.
What you saying?
Ah, try me.
Talk about something. I'm gonna kill you. Ah, right, nigga. I'll blow your shit.
I will show you something.
He can have a gun too, though. That nigga know that crib more than you, though. He could probably have a gun too.
No, nigga, if you live in that bitch, you better have some type of protection, nigga. Cause you know niggas gonna come in that shit.
That's crazy, bro.
That house look good. Hey, man, renovate that shit up and nice, nigga. That shit, yeah, that shit up and running, man. That shit look nice.
Yeah, the house still look nice.
Yeah.
It's just creepy, bro. So dusty and everything. Fuck all that.
Nah, that one, the school Jake, bro. That shit, I almost laughed, bro. That nigga said, ah!
Yeah, which one?
When he opened the shit and shit closed back.
Oh yeah, that nigga said.
Shit. Nigga said, I ain't never coming back, bro. Oh, man. Hey, man.
Hey, but that's it for this video, man.
Y'all want to go to an abandoned place with me?
Man, you crazy as fuck.
Bro, let's do it, man.
It's funny because this nigga always say that, but he gonna be the scary ass nigga. What's that? I heard that shit.
I know I see what y'all saying, right? Bro, let's do it, bro. Would you be down?
You wanna go to abandoned?
Would you actually be down?
It's crazy. I used to explore abandoned
Oh,
buildings,
no, this nigga's thinking about it, bro.
Bro, the man said it's crazy. I used to explore abandoned buildings, bro.
Me too. It's crazy. When I was in middle school, I used to go with my friends. I went into a house. That shit was bro. It was the most dangerous shit I've probably ever done in my life. But nigga, it was like the roof was already like caved in.
Right.
The fucking house was basically like, you ever seen those houses? You ever drove past those houses where they're just crumbling? Mm-hmm. And like you can literally see it just crumbling.
Like the roof is like tearing off and shit.
Me and like, I think it was like 3 or 4 other people. We was like 3 or 4 other kids. We went into that bitch, and it was creepy as fuck. But it was kind of like, I looked at it. It was kind of fun. It was kind of fun doing it.
It was fun when you was young because you didn't think too deep about it. But now you like, man, it's crazy because if we do it, it's probably gonna be somewhere in the north, and I don't trust that shit. Cause in the north, that's where all the hood niggas at, bro.
Oh,
hey, bro, anyway, man, that'll be it for today's video, man.
Man, thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you guys enjoy it, and please don't forget to
like, share, subscribe if you're new. God loves you, God bless you, and Weezy out of here.